Today we're opening a Lost Origins booster box. What's up everyone, Max Power here and welcome back to the arena. Just as we mentioned, we actually got this Lost Origin booster box and we're going to be opening it right at release. Something we've never done before. Typically the last box I've opened has actually been months after its release, and I think it was Evolving Skies and usually some packs here and there, but I figured, hey, we got this a little early. Let's go ahead and break it open. I've been dying to see what kind of cards we can get out of here. I don't expect any alternate arts, which there are many amazing ones, but hey, you can never lose out in trying. And then might as well, we can also get a lot of cards that we can use for competitive play. If this is your first time here, welcome. I like to open up packs for Pokemon cards. We like to deck build and have fun with them. And also, there's a bit of a collection aspect to what it is that I do. And also, I just thought I'd kind of like to share it with everyone that is also interested in the hobby. And of course, if you guys like the content, go ahead and let me know. Leave a comment, like the video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for taking out the time. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of get into this right here and open it up. Now, with this box, this is actually the second to last set for Sword and Shield. As we know, Sword and Shield has been around for about 3 years. Most blocks actually take that long since they usually coincide with the release of the next video game. As many of you may know by now, Scarlet and Violet are just around the corner. They should be coming out in November. November will be our last Sword and Shield set, known as Silver Tempest, which is going to apparently feature Alolan Vulpix, Lugia, and many others. That one, honestly, guys, I really plan on taking advantage and probably going in on. But for now, for Lost Origin, we do have a Elite Trainer box coming in tomorrow. But for now, we're going to do this booster box and see what we can get. For those of you that might not know, anything that's legitimate will have this code number right here. It's usually a 6-digit, and it's going to bring your nice little hefty 36 booster packs, each one containing 10 additional play cards. Of course, I like to go into a bit of detail. I do have background in the game as well, so I don't just, open packs and not really know much about it. I usually do. I like to go into as much detail as possible that I feel can contribute to whatever it is we're covering at the time. So we're gonna just talk a little bit as we go through the packs. You have to enjoy the artworks as well as you all. I hope you do. And again, thank you for taking out the time. I know you could be doing many other things, clicking other videos, but of course, we're just here to have fun, right, at the end of the day. Now, for this here, I'm gonna actually take my time with some of the few first packs so we can get a good look at the artworks and whatnot. Once we've seen a few repeats, we'll just kind of get it going so that way, it doesn't hurt viewer value, and also we can kind of get through it all. We start off with a Leaf Energy. Lumineon, this is not the V version. That is very useful for its supporter call, but still cool nonetheless. Wind Up Arm. Machoke, this is actually done by Mitsuhiro Arita, very great artwork. Love Disc. Gligar. Wurmple. Crazy Attack, Creepy Crawly Congregation for 3 energy. Rhyhorn. Murkrow, I love that art. A Reverse Hollow Litwick. Now, you guys did notice it was a black and white code card, and this appears to have a V of Aerodactyl V. All right, the card is actually a little warped, and what I mean by warped, it's actually a bit curved. You can see it's not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna get this card graded or anything. Plus, this is likely gonna go into a binder. But here you go, first V of the set. It's Aerodactyl V. I would really love to see the alternate art of this one. Not sure if we're gonna get it today or not, but one can wonder or wish. I'm actually just starting with the left side of the booster box because I feel personally, and I know I heard other YouTubers say it, I think Real Breaking Nate did, sometimes it just feels like the left side of the box has more hits, or it's more likely to have like the better ones, so might as well. I'm kind of taking my time, but at the same time I want to like speed this through. We're actually trying to get this video out at release, which is awesome. I've never had a product the day before or the week of. I mean, shout out to Pro Football Pete on eBay. Usually has one of the best values of, what the box costs and what it could do. Lost City is a very useful card. Anything with the little smoke bubble around the side, it uses the Lost Zone mechanic. And this is something that's actually making a comeback now with Lost Origin. If you guys remember Lost Thunder, these also use the mechanics of putting cards into the Lost Zone, which is actually like a discard pile or remove from play if you guys are familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! And we actually got the first trainer gallery card, Snorlax. I really like this Snorlax. I was hoping we would pull this one. It also has Kamado in the background. Look at that unfazed fat ability. Prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. I'm pretty sure this will be pretty useful at some point. Very nice to see. And the rare is a Poliwrath. So, very nice, guys. We're off to a pretty good start. I'm not going to sleeve the hits just yet, but I will very soon. Kind of want to get this going here. As you can see, some of the pack arts involving Alolan Zoroark. We got Giratina up in here. We got, this is Gardevoir, I forgot her name, and Enamorus. Which Enamorus I know is from Sword and Shield, not Sword and Shield, from Legends Arceus. I did not get to that side mission, don't judge me. But I know it's there. Like, I unlocked the mission, I just haven't done it. It's supposed to be the 4th genie of, you know, the black and white ones, Thundurus, Tornadus, and Landorus. But this one appears to be a psychic type one. So we'll see if it's going to be any competitive viability or not. But in the meantime, we shall keep opening packs. So, well, how's everyone's day going? What are everyone up to? Is anyone looking to open this pack? Lost Origin appears to be the 3rd best set in the block so far, at least until Silver Tempest comes out. Haunter for you Haunter fans. Poliwhirl, Licky. And we'll see, yeah, because this set does have a lot of great artworks. I really like this Machops and Claymation. Pikachu is going to be another fan favorite, possibly useful in the future. Shout out to Danny Phantom right there. Sudowoodo, Electrike, Meditite, the reverse, and Spectrier. I like the fact that they brought back Spectrier and Glastrier into their own individual cards because everyone knows them as just Calyrex. But Calyrex is the fusion of Calyrex and the horses, Spectrier and Glastrier. I know, nerd talk, but hey, that is the case. So, if you guys aren't planning on looking into the set, you at least get to check out what's in it. And from what I've seen from other people opening the set, the pull rates are not that great. That's not to say that you won't get anything worth your value at all. At least if, you know, what we spent was something around $96 for the box. Not bad. You are going to get that money back if you pay, you know, not over MSRP or well below. And at the very least, you get to enjoy with the artworks, all the cool stuff it comes with. Fantina, another useful card due to its Lost Zone capabilities. So I'll be putting those to the side. Gift Energy, potentially useful. Abomasnow, Clefairy. I like this Clefairy, it's pretty cool. We've got here now, oh, let me just set aside some stuff here because I kind of messed it up already. I will have to figure that out later. All right, never mind, guys. So now, I'll probably just edit that out. But anyway, so we've got here Lickitung, Horsey, Shuppet, Shellos. Reverse is another Shuppet, so we got 2 of them here. Might be useful. And, ooh, all right. So I guess this is going to be an Aerodactyl box. Aerodactyl V-Star to go along with our V. So I guess now we'll go ahead and sleeve some of these cards up. Now, again, these 2 are going to be kind of useful. I'll talk a little bit about competitive because that's something that I like to do with any new expansion and with Pokemon in general. I'll be making separate videos where I will be going over gameplay, deck build, strategy, stuff like that. But in this one here, for Aerodactyl, it's got a cool ability, Ancient Star. You get to use this once you do the attack. As long as Aerodactyl V-Star stays on the field, all other Pokemon have no abilities as long as they are Pokemon V, VMAX, or V-Star. So this can actually shut it down once it uses the attack and it stays in play. Not the best strategy to build a deck around, but it's pretty disruptive, pretty cool. And then, of course, you can evolve into it without your Aerodactyl V. At the very least, if you guys are Gen 1ers or fans of, you know, Kanto Pokemon, boom, here you go. You know, you got these here. I'm going to start putting them up top. And the really banger version of that Aerodactyl is going to be the alternate art. If I can pull any one of them, honestly, it would probably be that one for me personally. And if not, I mean, the best one is Giratina. But let's face it, the pull rates for either of them have not been that great so far. But out of 4 packs, we got 3 hits. The trainer gallery hits do count, so we'll put these to the side. If we gotta slide them over, we will. And we'll just keep it going, guys. Now, I would talk about Legends Arceus, but not going to do that right now because I don't want to ramble on too much. I think I saw something here, even though this is a white code. But let's just find out. Psychic Energy. Gloom by Tomokazu Komiya. You can always tell because of that funky art style. Fantina, another one. Gastrodon. It actually has both versions. The East and the West is, I think, how they call it. Litwick. Roselia. Rockruff. Seal. Shuppet, another one. Lickitung is our reverse, and Politoed. Politoed is pretty cool. It's going to end up being potential for a meme deck because of its lordly song leader. Check it out. If Poliwag is on your bench, this attack does 60 more damage. If Poliwhirl is on your bench, it does 90 more damage. If Poliwrath is on your bench, it does 120 more damage. Basically, load up the bench with your Politoads, Wraths, Whirls, and whatnot, and you can do a lot of damage. That's not the most viable strategy because you can only play 4 of any one card, and that mainly does zero down the Poliwag, and everything else evolves from Poliwag, so it's going to be a little harder to kind of run that. But it's what we like to call a meme deck or a cheeky, funny deck. It's not to say it won't work. It's very possible, but you know, you have to really build it up, practice it, and even that just may be mainly for fun. Of course, we also have some other budget decks and other strategies planned out for the channel, so I'll be showing you guys as we come across it. Lake Acuity is another great stadium card. Luminion. Mirage Gate is actually very important for this deck, and I'll show you why. You can only use this card if you have 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone, so it takes advantage of that Lost Zone mechanic as with the Air Bubble dictates. But you get to search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. This is very useful. Number 1 for Giratina, which uses different type energies, Grass and Psychic. And any other Pokemon that uses 2, 3, 4 energy to attack and of different typing. So this is very important, and that's what this set really is riding on and promoting. Electrike, Ghastly, Binacle, Murkrow, Wurmple. We got a Radiant Steelix in the house, guys. Check that out. It's beautiful. I think of the 3 Radiants that are available in this set, this is the coolest looking one. As far as value, I don't know. And as far as competitive value, this one, it might be so-so. You get to attach 2 energy cards from your discard pile to him when you use Energy Stream. Not that big a deal. And the destructive finish, discard cards from the top of your deck until only 1 card remains. Very risky, but the attack does 30 more damage for each energy you discard in this way. This is kind of meant to be like a last minute blow, a final blow type of thing, and end the game. If not, I wouldn't do it. But Radiant Steelix is awesome because it's just cool, shiny. And Storage Junior, we have another Lost Zone mechanic card. So let's do a bit of housekeeping here. And we will be sleeving up the Radiant Steelix so it hangs out next to Snorlax and all the others. So, of course, guys, like I mentioned earlier, I do plan on going in on Silver Tempest when it comes out. I think it's a really great set to look forward to, not only because it's going to be the last one of Sword and Shield, but if you really think about it, at least as far as the last one that was the closer, so to speak, of a block, Cosmic Eclipse was an amazing set. The previous one was X and Y Evolutions, which it was kind of printed. It was not popular for a while too, another closer in case of X and Y. But today is super popular, although that one probably doesn't count. What am I trying to say? Well, don't sleep on Silver Tempest. It might actually really be worth your while, guys. So here we've got a V-Star card. This is new because with new decks you're going to need markers, so instead of getting that little plastic counter, you can use a card if you don't have one of those, but it takes the place of an energy cell. Hisuian Sligo, Electric, Riley, which Zapdos TCG says it is the worst card in the game, but it's actually pretty bad. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and have your opponent choose 2 of them and discard the chosen cards. Put the remaining cards in your hand. Basically, it doesn't help you, it only helps your opponent. So yeah, it's cool for collection. If you want to complete your master set or your binder, you definitely want to include it. Other than that, not so much. Poliwhirl is a reverse, and Cramorant. Cramorant, I'm actually very happy to see as well because, check this out, Lost Provisions. If you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, ignore all energy in this card's attack cost. So if you have those 4 cards in your Lost Zone, you can attack for free and do 110 damage. And also it's going to help with anything that's tanky, anything that walls V Pokemon like Miltank V, maybe Decidueye, anything that prevents them from doing damage. Well, Cramorant can do that chip away for you. Sometimes even knock them out. You can use it early on in the beginning of the game, or you can even use it as a closer if someone's trying to stall you to, you know, end you or end your game. This is something to include. So I do plan on building a Lost Zone mechanic deck, depending on what it is that I pull from this, you know, box here. But so far, you know, we have the hits up above. Maybe I end up making an Aerodactyl V-Star deck. You never know. Water Energy, Medicham, Misfortune Sisters, Mineshaw, Squovit, Gligar, Phantom, Sudowoodo, Bronzor, Reverse as a Gliscor, and Spiritomb. Not a fan of Spiritomb, but there it is. Okay, so we keep this going here now, and let me just sort you guys to the side because I put you in the wrong place. Or did I? No, that was right. Sorry guys, I did not plan the stacking of my cards accordingly, but we're just rolling with it. We are rolling with it. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't really plan on making the video until just this afternoon. I'm like, wow, if the box is arriving today and it's Thursday, by the time the video comes out, it'll be Friday. The timing is actually kind of perfect. I've never had a product release video at the same, you know, on release. So I figured let's give that a shot. I also get dissatisfied, you know, opening the pack, seeing what we got, and I have the binder ready to load up these cards so I can have my own master set. Seadra, Rhydon, Roserade, pretty cool. We've got another Squovit, Phalanx, Poliwag, Oddish, really nice artwork, look at that, at night. Growlithe, we've got something here in the back, I think it is a character card. Oh no, it's a reverse Lost City, but I'll take that. And a Vileplume holographic, not bad. I think this is one of the nicer looking Vileplumes, even if it's not that popular of a card. But hey, I'll put you to the side for now. Okay, so far we're about a quarter done through the box. I'm not keeping count, but it feels like we've gone through maybe 10, a bit more than the quarter. Quarter of a box would have been 8, since this brings 36 packs in total, right? No, maybe less. My math is not doing so well, guys. So it would have been, a quarter would have been 9. I think we're past that. But anyway, we're not here to do math. We're here to open cards and have a good time. Grass Energy. Another Tomokazu Kamiya card. Gastrodon. Arc Phone. What does this Arc Phone do? Look at the top card of your deck. You may switch that card with one of your face-down prize cards. It might be useful. Not the worst thing ever. I'll put this to the side. And away we go. Rhyhorn. Aipom. Roselia. Gumi. Meditite. Inkay's in the reverse. And we've got Malamar. Hey, we got Inkay and Malamar back to back. Only one of them is done by Tomokazu Kamiya. Can you guess which one? Yeah, look at that funky artwork. All right, pretty cool. So we've slowed down, but I mean, so far we did get pretty good stuff. I'm happy with the Snorlax and the Radiant Radiant Steelix myself. And of course, I know there's going to be a lot more. Most people that have been opening this product, they can actually expect around 12 to 14 hits. At least if you include the Radiants and the Trainer Gallery, as well as the V-Maxes, V-Stars, and Full Art cards. Not to say that you're going to get a Secret Rare, Gold, Rainbow, or an alternate art, but that doesn't mean that you will not. You just might. It's better to not expect it and be surprised than to think you're going to get 3 alt arts and you don't. That's never going to happen, not in one box. So it's best to set the right expectations. Iscan, Panic Mask. Okay. Gumi, Bronzor, Snover. I like that art style. It actually looks realistic. Also done by Mitsuhiro Arita. That guy's an OG. Jinx, Inkay in the dark form. I didn't realize there was 2 of them here. Mineshaw and Hoopa. I feel like this Hoopa might be useful in some capacity. You know, as like that one-off dark Pokemon, but we shall find out if it's used in competitive play or not. If not, it'll take up a nice spot in the binder. But yeah, so far we're not doing too bad. We're doing about a third through the box, so I think I'll just do one video to get through the entire box as opposed to break it up, because you know, got things to do, gotta get some rest in. Some of us do work in the morning, and we still gotta get time in to enjoy this and other activities like being time with the family, and of course they appreciate it as well. Tynamo, Litleo, Mindfu, Litwick, Snover. We got a character for the reverse, and it is Spiritomb. That looks pretty cool. Not my favorite, but it is cool indeed. And we got Drapion V. All right. So that's 2 hits out of the one. That some might call a double banger. Okay, let's sleeve these up. That brings our trainer gallery count to 2. And someone made a comment about, I think the first half of the trainer gallery set cards are a little easier to pull, but the second half are not as easy to pull. But that's hard to measure. You have to watch other videos, like, you know, people that open up a lot of packs to confirm that with raw data. Now, check out this Drapion V. Wild Style ability. This Pokemon's attacks cost energy less, 1 energy less for each of your opponent's single strike, rapid strike, and fusion strike Pokemon in play. This is the proverbial Mew VMAX killer, as well as anything else, but that's yet to be seen. It may happen, but yeah, kind of reminds me of Zapdos, the Galarian Zapdos V from Chilling Reign, where it had that same one, but it was also, instead of it being for each rapid style, fusion style, or single strike card, it was just basically any Pokemon V in play that your opponent has, it would be 1 energy less. We have Fire Energy, Silcoon, Lady, Lampent. That lady in full art is probably going to go for a pretty penny, because I know there's people that are fans of it. They chase those type of cards, and you know, it'll definitely be a case. Mirage Gate, this is our second one. I'm going to put it to the side for any potential Lost Zone decks, and Mimikyu. I know some people are fans of Mimikyu. I don't particularly care for it too much, but that and Mimikyu's been featured in like a lot of sets in Sword and Shield. It did just come out in Sword and Shield in Gen 8, but it's featured in every other set. Everyone has that one Pokemon that's like, man, this thing appears in every single set. I feel like, for me, that's Mimikyu. It's appearing in every single set, you know, whether we want it to or not. I know there are Mimikyu fans out there, but come on, you guys can't say that's not the case or not true. Psychic Energy, Seviper, Komiya, Creepy, Stunfisk, Galarian Form, Box of Disaster. If the Pokemon V this card is attached to has full HP and is knocked out by damage from an attack your opponent's Pokemon uses, put 8 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Might be useful, might not. Yeah, okay. Poliwag, Oddish, Hisuian Growlithe, another cool Pokemon from Arceus, Seedot, Slugma, Porygon 2. I think the Porygon line is always really cool, so I like anything Porygon, and it's also a Lost Zone mechanic card. And Kingdra, I like this. I have a friend on Instagram called Kingdra Gang. This is for you, dude. Kingdra Gang all the way. So I'm gonna sleeve that one up if you're watching. If not, I'm still gonna sleeve it. And if you notice the effect that this one has, it's actually a Marnie built in. Once during your turn, you may have either player shuffle their hand into the bottom of their deck. If they do this, then they get to draw 4 cards. Marnie, all day. Might not be the worst thing ever. It's pretty useful in a pinch. Sometimes you just have to refresh your hand, get some new cards, and prevent breaking. This is better than just letting yourself do so, but you also need to be able to run some sort of water mechanic deck. Maybe Palkia, maybe Ice Rider, or something similar. And I know this deck, this set, Lost Origin, does premiere a lot of water Pokemon, so it does promote and make it a bit easier to come up with that, if that's something you want to do. Okay, so we're almost halfway through. We've got 3 packs left on the left side. Metal Energy, Arizu, Relicanth, Lost Vacuum, very important. Again, because this is a Lost Zone mechanic card, what it does is you can use this card only if you put one other card from your hand in the Lost Zone. Choose any Pokemon tool, attach any Pokemon or any stadium in play, and put that in the Lost Zone. If you haven't noticed by now, the whole point of this set or these cards are to load up the Lost Zone so that once you have a certain amount, you can activate different effects, different cards, and these cards all stack up and actually give you really broken abilities once you do so. So it's almost like an excuse for a turbo build without thinking so. Trevenant and a Rezu full art. I will take that as a full art all day. Well, because we haven't had any full art, so this is only our first one from this box. So pretty cool. I don't know if this is going to be useful in competitive play. Let me read the ability because we just got the regular version in the same pack. Pretty cool. Search your deck for up to 3 evolution Pokemon that don't have any rule box, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So basically you can't do these for Pokemon V or Radiance, but it might be useful. It might be useful, who knows. So far we'll put it here to the side. Typically you can expect 1 to 2 full art trainer cards in a box. We're up to 7 pulls right now. We still have not seen any rainbow, any gold rare, alternate. Let's just pretend alternate cards don't exist in this set. They do, but they're, you know, I don't expect to pull any, not tonight. And if we don't get it in these, I might not buy more, but we'll just, we'll see how it goes, you know. V-Star Energy in effect. Damage Pump, also useful for the Lost Zone mechanic. Dottler, Seadra, Basculin, Jinx, Makuhita, haven't seen that one. Bronzor, also Komiya. Phalanx, Magearna as the reverse rare, and Buffalant, who honestly is no one's favorite. Buffalant is no one's favorite, but let's see what it does because it is a Lost Zone card. Put an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon in the Lost Zone. It's alright. It's a rare, but it's alright. Okay. Second to last one from this left side. So far, I can't complain too much, especially since I know there's more to come. And something I like to do, guys, when I buy and open packs, I don't just like the nostalgia or the fun value of it. That is part of it. You know, that's why we all, you know, go in and buy cards. But I like to, in a set like this one, for example, I like to go in and get enough cards to fill out a binder, what everyone calls their little master set. If I get any extra cards after that or before that, I like to build decks. If I have more than enough, I'll do it with as many as possible. And then also, you know, if there's anything that's really awesome collector value, well, we'll either get graded or just set to the side. Thornton, also useful if you guys are going to be using Radiant Charizards and other cards in your deck. I'll let you read it, it's kind of wordy. And Bayonet. This is also useful because it runs that Lost Zone mechanic, as you can see from the little talk bubble thingy-majig, whatever you want to call it. Last pack, left side. Let's go. And I want to thank you guys for sticking around, of course. Like I mentioned earlier, go ahead and like the video if you're still here. Comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Let me know what you think of these. I will be making videos going over Pokemon TCGO gameplay, as well as other deck builds, especially now that we have these cards. Hopefully I won't have to buy too many more to still make more decks. I have a few that I haven't showcased just yet, but let me know what you think of those when they do come out, if not in general, you know. And we will keep this gravy train rolling. Of course, we want to thank everyone who has subscribed so far. And take a pause here. Finneon. Its ability, Ocean Accompaniment. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a water energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon that has the Swim Freely attack. This might be part of a meme deck. It might be a useful mechanic. We don't know just yet, but just something to keep an eye out. Parasect, I'm showcasing because it actually has a character rare, kind of like an alternate art. Maybe we see it later on. I don't mind if we don't get it. Personally, I'd rather get some of the 2 Pikachu character rares that we have. There's one that's with the trainer from Legends Arceus, your rival, your friend, I forget what her name is. And then also Red's Pikachu, even though it's not called Red's Pikachu, but it's Red from the original series. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go. Grass Energy, Licky Licky, another Lost Vacuum. I'm going to put that to the side. Relicanth, Mawile, Shellos, Pinnacle, Porygon, love it. Ducklet, Real Breaking 8 hates it. And oh, you just see here a full art Nessa. You know, I actually have the full art Nessa from Vivid Voltage, and now we got this one. That is pretty cool. I'm gonna have to put those side by side and maybe get them graded just because it's pretty cool. This is in the trainer gallery, which is why it's in the reverse rare spot. And Snorlax, we got the trainer gallery version and now the regular one, the same unfazed fat ability. That's pretty cool. Let's sleeve up Nessa since it is a full art. And it is useful because, you know, it helps you bring back water, Pokemon, or energy from your discard pile into your hand, and you basically get to recycle them. So definitely useful. I don't plan on using it per se, but I like having my full arts either sleeved or in a card saver. Maybe some point in the future they may be worth grading, or their value will go up, or maybe someone will want to have like a full art trainer collection. I've always thought that could be a possibility. Not me right now. But any that I do have, I want to keep safe, you know, so they don't get messed up. If you just throw cards into a binder in like those page sleeves with no sleeves, no individual sleeves, they do get messed up. They get whitening around the edges, they get bent, they get something called ring ding. If you use like a 3-ring binder, today that probably won't happen, but it is something that would happen when we were kids, and that kind of stank, to be honest. But we didn't know any better. We were just kids. We were having fun opening packs, showing them to our friends in school, and hoping their parents would buy us more because we didn't have the money for it. Pidgeot V. I like Pidgeot V as a V card. The full art is pretty cool, but they did not get an alternate. That was a little disappointing. Pidgeot did not get a full art, or it did get a full art, it did not get an alternate art. This actually prevents you from decking out because it's Vanishing Wings. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may shuffle it and all cards attached to it into your deck. So Pidgeot could be your last card in your deck. You put it back in, maybe an energy or two or a tool, you're still gravy, you're rolling. Okay, we're past the 30-minute mark, but we're in the second half of the box. I don't expect to take an hour. If we do, so be it. But I think now we can kind of start to pick up the pace a bit if we haven't already. If not, I'll just keep rambling. Not because I want to, but I just don't want to have that awkward silence. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like awkward silence when watching a YouTube video, especially when you've got stuff you can bring up and sprinkle in here and there, you know. Reverse Toolbox and Mr. Mime. Pokerev hates Mr. Mime, but same way, he kind of feels that's one of those cards that it just kind of shoved into every set or last few sets. I know it was in Vivid Voltage, it was in probably Battle Styles, and here and there. But I mean, unless you're gonna make Mr. Mime like a cool card, like give Mr. Mime a break. He's from Gen 1. We don't need to see him that much. Okay, Fire Energy. Abomasnow, Lost City. I'm gonna have a playset of those already. Carbink, Gume, Mawile, Slugma, Clefairy, Roselia. Let's see what the character card is. Charizard. All right. This might not be one of the most valuable cards, but it is Charizard with Leon from Sword and Shield, the champion there. The centering is not the best. It's not the worst, but I will sleeve this up, possibly put in a card saver. And the rare is a Greedent. Why Greedent? Nobody wants Greedent. I have the alternate art Greedent from Fusion Strike. I do have it protected, but it's like, why Greedent? A lot of people don't like Greedent. Anyway, so that brings our character rare total to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 it is. That's usually what you can expect from a box, maybe more. But we still haven't seen any Giratinas. We still have not seen Kyurem, V or V Max. No Zoroarks, which this set is also featuring. We did get the Aerodactyl, but you can expect more Vs, one more V Star perhaps, and many other things. It is 36 packs. You're not guaranteed anything. but they have somewhat of a box mapping where you can get a good assortment of cards. At least it seems somewhat worth your while, your purchasing power, so to speak. Raichu, that's a pretty good pull. All right, guys, not too much left to go, so we're gonna just roll with it right now and see. We still got about a third of this box left. What do you think we're gonna pull? Have you looked into this set at all? Are any of your favorites in it? Do you have no idea what's in this set? I wasn't exactly sure what was in the set until today, because websites like Pokélector or apps, they were not really showing what was in. Now, you could always check out the Japanese versions of the sets and see what it is that they're including, but the thing with Japanese to English is that they don't always include everything in the sets. They sometimes like to leave cards out for future sets. Radiant Gardevoir. This is our second Radiant right now. Pretty cool. It has a pretty good ability, Loving Veil. It says as long as or all your Pokemon take 20 less damage from attacks from opponent's Pokemon V. So this is our second Radiant and our next hit, and a holographic Orbeetle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 11th hit. My math is way off, as you can tell. Yeah, but nothing wrong with that. We're just counting up our hits, and we could really use another V-Star here, maybe a V-Max. I'll go with that. I'm good with that. Let's see what else we can get here, guys. Now, some of you might think, why not just get the singles? You could. However, when you buy a booster box for as low as, $100 or less, you're not really losing money unless you get like a really bad set, or I don't know, it's just something that's has like nothing at all in it. That's the only way you can go wrong, but there's always going to be something you can worth your value, and if not, at the very least, if it's something you enjoy doing or cards that you like, great artworks and stuff like that, you've already won. That's the whole point. Dustox is the rare. That's just part of your fun value, but there's many ways to get that value out of it as well. So it's not always that. It's not always about that flipper mentality, buy stuff and let it go 2 days later because you have an itch. I mean, in my case, I have a day job. Maybe some others, this is their living, but there's many ways to do it. Not really gonna knock one way or another. Okay. Lake Acuity, got a second one here. Mirage Gate, this is my third. Very important. Snover from Chop. Pikachu, Jinx, Litwick, Paris. Ooh, Magnezone V-Star. Not the most useful. You can definitely make a deck out of this and make it useful, but I think it's pretty cool, to be honest. I do think it's very cool. Let me sleeve this up. And I think Magnezone is actually going to be featured in the new Scarlet and Violet TCG base set, because if you guys haven't heard, they're actually bringing back the EX mechanic, which is like the original one from Ruby and Sapphire, from that far back. The whole point is that where today you have Vs going into V-Stars and there's sometimes evolved Pokemon like Pidgeot, they want you to encourage evolving. Kind of like in Digimon, you're creating stacks to evolve and make bigger Pokemon, but from the smaller, weaker ones, building them up, stage 2, stuff like that. Whereas today, there's a massive power creep because there is no evolving into stage 1, stage 2s. It's just Vs and V-Stars, and they're rocking your, your bench, your board, and you basically can't do much about it because you're already losing almost right away. So, it's a change. The meta is constantly changing, so they have to keep it interesting for all parties involved. And at the end of the day, Pokemon needs to keep selling cards. Honestly, us as kids, we didn't always care too much about the playability of it, just what the cards looked like, how cool they were, stuff like that. They still managed to do that. But if something like this has more than one purpose, guys, if you can collect it, if you can play it, if you can grade it, if you can put into binders and just have multiple uses or forms of enjoyment for it, that's what it's all about, if you think about it. got a reverse box of a disaster and a V of Enamorous V. Okay. Not the craziest hit, but hey, here we go. We got another V. So that brings us up to 13 because, yep, 13. We might still get something, we might not. We shall find out, guys, as we have about 7 packs left, or 8 packs left. It's still plenty to go. Still plenty to go. We can get pretty much anything out of this box. It might have been a cool idea to shuffle the packs around, like if you watch other channels that sell pack breaks and stuff, like PokeRev. Obviously, these are for my personal collection. I'm just, you know, sharing the enjoyment, especially if maybe some of you might not be going in on the set. You at least get to appreciate the artworks. You get to decide for yourself if you want to go in on this or not, and just kind of enjoy the hobby. You know, this is another way, believe it or not, to do so. Holographic Pyroar looks pretty cool. What does Scorching Aura do? During your Pokemon checkup, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's burn Pokemon instead of 2. You might see some viability. The only difficult thing with poison and burn is that unless you trap your opponents to the point that they can't retreat or switch around, they could just use like a switch card or something like that, and then they don't have to deal with burn anymore. So that's why status conditions aren't really a thing or present in the game today. There definitely are cards that cause them, but they're just not viable. Maybe in the early days it was, and I remember all the time Pokemon had a CD-ROM version of what's today Live or TCGO. I really missed that game. It was so cool. It was kind of limited in the decks that you can use and how often you can play it and how much and stuff. Macargo's your rare, Lost Zone mechanic. But it was still fun, even though you couldn't do a whole lot in it, because you could test out different decks. You could OP the computer. But of course, you know, that's why today we have Live, we have TCGO. You could do that in a bit more, and it's still fun, and you get to play with other people. And that's what you want to do with Pokemon in general, really. Play with other people. And that's a great way to learn too, playing online. We've gotten quite a few white code cards, but it's been pretty down the middle. Can't say that we haven't gotten the black ones, which are kind of the ones that say, hey, we got something cool here. Colress Experiment. I think I've only got one of these. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put 3 of them into your hand, and put the other 2 in the Lost Zone. Very useful because it's draw power acceleration and also accelerating to your Lost Zone, which, like I mentioned earlier, you definitely need so that you can get your mechanics up and running. Dugong benefits from that Finion's ability, and it might see some play. It might be a rogue deck, possibly still. But if you do have cards like that, if you have Poliwag, that line, if you have, I don't know, there aren't too many different new archetypes in this set, but if you have any of those, if you have the cards, the right amount of cards to just build that deck and run with it, do it. That's the whole point. Sometimes, you know, if we've seen that in Worlds Championship last month, if you're good running any deck, by all means, play with it, stick to it, get better at it. Be the best you could be with that one play style or deck. You might be surprised how many games you can win if you can even beat out in a tournament a variety of people. And that alone is quite the experience. All right, guys, we are down to our last 4 packs. Thank you so much for sticking around if you have. If not, well, we'll see you in the next video. But here we still have 4 packs left. It's up for grabs. Anything can happen. We hope to have this up by release date. I think I will. It's just a matter of when, not if. Torkoal, Cool, Porygon, Poliwhirl, Ghastly, Ducklet, Zoro, Binacle, Gumi, Inkay, Manectric. This is the first one I've seen. I thought it was a holographic, but apparently it is not. But that's okay. Last 3. Can we get any of the cover Pokemon? We did get Radiant Gardevoir, as you can see it in shiny form. We did get Enamorous in the regular V form. we got the 2 full art trainers, which is pretty cool, pretty good value for a box like that, on top of everything else. It's normal to still see a second B-Star. And I gotta pull Giratina in some form, guys, one way or another. It's Giratina. It's the poster child of this box. Some people don't believe in it, but hey, it's cool. It is actually cool, and the mechanic is way, way cool. I would talk about it, but we're not pulling it, you know? Bouffalant as the rare. It's very useful, because you can set up your board by the second turn and you're already taking prize cards. And even though you've had to throw away cards into the Lost Zone, and you need different types of energy to power it, you need Grass and Psychic. Number 1, it deals a lot of damage for a 2/3 energy. Number 2, its star attack, like its best attack, you know, can instantly knock out an opponent as long as you have 10 cards in your Lost Zone or more. And also Mirage Gate, that's our 4th one. And also, even though you're throwing out cards like that, if you set it up correctly, guys, you really only need to attack with Giratina 3 times, and that guarantees you game. Here's a character rare, Paris. Looks pretty cool. I kind of wish it was an alternate art, but hey, it's a character rare, number 1 in the set, in the subset. And Shiftry Holographic also uses the Lost Zone mechanic. We gotta see a Shiftry card that people like, because not a lot of people like Shiftry. If you do, I'm so sorry. I don't think I hate it, but that's just the consensus I get. People are like, oh, another Shiftry, why? You get it in dark, you get it in grass. But maybe this one's viable in the metagame. That'd be great to see too. Guys, thanks again. This is a white code, so we're not going to get any Giratinas, no Zoroarks, nothing like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you do think about getting this set, now you have an idea of what the things you might get look like, and this should help you make a decision. If not, well, hope you enjoyed this opening, and we will see you on the next one, ending on a reverse rare Stonjourner and Cramorant. Like the fact that I got it. Guys, thank you very much. Hope you have a good one, and more content to come very soon.